with that being said, I will go ahead and try to summon 4. You know, Memory Kaisen right here is absolutely insane. Don't love that. Do not love... I don't love Memory Kaisen right here. I'm gonna need this to go crazy for me. I'm not even gonna... You know, character would have been nice there. You know, character would have been nice there. Oh my goodness. Character would have definitely been nice there. To go ahead and see. That is a character. That is a character. That is a character. Okay. That is a character. I need Miguel. Hey, you grade 1 sorcerer. Okay, that was... He's the GOAT, but I did not need him. I did not need to go ahead and pull the GOAT. He is the GOAT, don't get me wrong, but like he is the GOAT. He is the GOAT. He is definitely the GOAT. Alright, so we definitely have a lot of things to go ahead and get into. Nope, that is not gonna be what I do. I'm not going to... I could recharge up to 176. I mean, I might as well go ahead and try to... Kokusen! Memory Kaisen, let's go. Kokusen! Bro. That's kind of crazy. Memory Kaisen is kind of crazy. Oh! Oh, Red Yuta. That's not bad. That's not bad. Not the one I wanted, but... Oh! A2 Yuta? We take that. We take that. We actually do take that. That's not bad. Red Yuta A2 is not bad. So let's go ahead and supercharge this up to 216 points. We are guaranteed to go ahead and do this. We are guaranteed to go ahead. We can definitely get some stuff there, but obviously we want the boy right there. We do want to go ahead and grab him in these last 3 multis. Oh, a lot of loading. A lot of loading right here. Okay. Well, that's not a terrible sign. I am lagging pretty hard though. We're still going on. We're still going on right here. Nice. But yeah. Okay, that could be it. That could be it. That could actually be it. Kosi. Oh! Okay. Oh! You know, that's not like the worst thing ever. Cause there's definitely... Oh, you know what? That's not too bad. That's not too bad. I don't completely hate that. That's not terrible. That's not terrible. A2 for Yuta is massive. A2 for Yuta is massive, and of course we like A1 for Ghetto, but A2 for Yuta is massive. A2 for Yuta is absolutely massive. That's absolutely massive. We take that from Momo. The only one that I do not like is Domain Megami. The dupes for Domain Megami is not necessarily what we want. A2 Yuta is not bad though. A2 Yuta is not bad though. I'm working on getting his SP potential unlocked. That's not so bad. That's not so bad. Let's see what the volume is at. It's pretty good. That's pretty good. That's why I like the volume to be at. Okay, that's not so bad. That's not so bad. That's not so bad. It's not so bad. That's not so bad, right? That's not terrible. Right, that's not too bad. It's not too bad. That's not too bad. Well, Memory Kaisen is pretty good. I mean, that's not terrible. And we got a lot of memories, so I might as well input them in. Am I right? I might as well input them in and get the memories maximum limit break as well. Mobile version for this game is definitely running a little bit slow, in my opinion. Runs a little bit slow. That wasn't... Yo, I tried to, like, pull out with at least a little bit of cubes left, I really did try. I really did try. But, I said I might as well go for 0 over even total because, this is something... limited. This is limited. I said I'm going to get JJK0. I'm going to get JJK0 because this is all limited. This is limited time bits. This is limited time stuff. So I definitely will go ahead and take that. I will take that. Let's go ahead and exchange for... Ooh, I could almost exchange for a chaotic bit of wreck. I'm going to definitely exchange for a chaotic, for sure. For sure. Chaotic would be nice. Yes, gonna go ahead and do this as well. I could go ahead and... I could do one more draw on that one, but that's not gonna be worth it. I'm gonna try to make up for past mistakes, try to go ahead and do something. There's a character. There is a character. It's not gonna be something... It could be something okay. It could be something alright. We'll see. Dies over. I was about to say, okay. That's not the worst. That's not terrible. That's not terrible. We appreciate this. We appreciate that. That's not bad. That's not bad. Gojo dupe is not bad. We take that. We take it. We definitely do take that. I appreciate that. I appreciate the dupe. Nice. Yeah, it's funny even. Like, the character I get... Okay, let me just slow down a bit. Y'all, this has been a good summoning video for this. I will go ahead and have Miguel soon as well. Not necessarily something I need... necessarily, but I wanted Miguel for quite a while, and we're going to guaranteed get Miguel. We're going to guaranteed get Miguel. I definitely, even though I'm going to, it's like I don't want to summon more for him. I just don't want to go ahead and summon, you know what I mean? I'm not gonna do it. You know what I'm saying? The banner. I'm gonna be strictly looking at this banner. It's one free draw every day. I have enough to get the maximum. I'm not gonna spend my 3 cubes. That wasn't too bad. I wouldn't say I even wasted this last one because I was necessary for it. Got over the 2 strongest. That's not so bad. Definitely gonna make my blue team a lot stronger. I feel like this is going to be quite good. For sure. Definitely could see use out of him. And Miguel got a lot better. He is quite amazing now with his SP buffs. I'm going to want to try him out, but the main thing I would have wanted would be, JJK0 characters, all these SP buffs. I definitely am going to be wanting to try it out. Ghetto's one is pretty good. He helped me out defeat Maharaga with story mode, and I mean, it's just right for me to get all of JJK0. The reason I'm getting all of JJK0 is I want to be just really... Because we know that the Japanese version, from their celebration, they moved on from 0. They moved into the they moved into the celebration with the Todo and Yuji, and then they're going to move into their anniversary as well. So that could be something we get soon, you know, later on after all the dust clears and the dust settles. Honestly, it's been pretty rough. It's been pretty rough pickles. I would have hoped to go out of this banner with Miguel. That's not bad though. That memory is it's not a bad one for sure. It's the what is it? It's the C increase. So that's kind of the opposite version of this one, where it's on increase in command skill, taijutsu increase, which is, it ends up being pretty good. So it's not too bad. It's not so bad. This has its uses. You know, some of these zero memories have their uses, and do remember all the zero memories are limited. So I mean, I pulled all of them again. So it's just like, yeah, it's gonna be. Well, I got Miguel. I got Miguel. I couldn't help myself. Y'all, let me stop rambling and just get on out of here. While this is not ideal, but, you know, it is how it is on this game. You know, I'm trying to save up my luck, I guess. I wouldn't be mad if I saved up my luck for Legends. I feel like I can go ahead and get more on there. But, yeah, no, Miguel... I just don't even want to be like, oh, I'm going to spend my last 3,000 cubes and get, like, nothing on that. Because I could just be like, okay, I want to go ahead and spend my last 3,000 cubes on this, like, last time. You know, I can go ahead and guarantee it. And it's not even drawing singles. It is drawing singles, but it's not paid singles. It's just the free singles. But, yeah, no, we got good SP buff for here. Interesting here. That's we go ahead and have a lot of good stuff for him as well, because it is a good, you know, Yuta still has his good damage and all on his ultimate. But he has things other than his ultimates, right? He has all of his other skills that are, you know, his abilities, his heals, his counterattack, zone, his heals, you know, a lot of passive skills. A lot of passive skills for allies. And applies, he does get more damage on its gauge chase, which is pretty good. He's a pretty good healer in that regard, so I know it's pretty good. It's pretty good. It's nice. It's pretty nice. And obviously Geto is like the supreme. He's a supreme debuffer now with this skill. He goes ahead and he doesn't do. It deals a little bit of damage here now. He deals alright damage with this ultimate. But he deals pretty decent damage. Dealt increase, a lot of damage dealt increase. And the Miguel SP buff is pretty interesting. The SP was on his first skill, which is definitely nice. It's definitely interesting how they made his skills. It made his skills interesting with a lot of, I heard he has a lot of damage reduction, and he gets crits, and he deals he's a lot of blue physical rate as well, so he's pretty interesting. He's pretty interesting. He has evasion, a little bit of that, a lot of damage taken decrease, a lot of damage reduction, a lot of taunt, which is quite cool. It's quite cool for him to have provocation and taunt. He's a pretty interesting character, and obviously, you know, he's pretty decent with the SP buffs. But obviously, Geto is the prize star, and Yuta is a pretty decent prize star for being a DPS. But yeah, no, this is pretty decent. I'm not too mad about this one. It wasn't like the other JJK 0 summons, you know, I put in, I would have gotten this quite a bit ago, A2, but I accidentally put a dupe in, I believe, Toji, you know, someone who was, you know, not so limited, but, you know, this is great right here. We do love him being A2. Geto being A1 is alright, even pretty decently okay, since I would, you know, like him to, you know, at least do a little bit more damage if I'm gonna, you know, use him for my blues. But obviously, Yuta being the curse technique master for red, since I can have both a taijutsu and a jujutsu for red now, and as well, blue having, you know, we get good physical technique buffer for blue, as well as, you know, Utah and all that kind of other crazy stuff. Yellow was yellow. I don't even got to explain how good yellow is. We got, you know, curse technique Yuji and physical technique. No, physical technique Yuji, excuse me, and curse technique Gojo, the one that just got a dupe in. And of course green is going to be, well, green is pretty good. It needs a little bit more. I would have liked Toto. I skipped Chozo for this. It was unfortunate. We could domain Gojo, but I don't want to necessarily do the RNG that's required to, double domain. It's like, no, I would like to just have Geto. I would have liked to have Geto and then Shoko, and then after that we have Yuji right here, and then go ahead and have Toji. But no, no, Toto. Toji is red. Toji is for the red. Well, no, I'm not gonna have those units for anniversary. I'm cooking for Annie, which is okay. It's okay. Because of the fact that I believe how it works is anniversary units return on half anniversary. I do believe, because I do remember 1.5 we got the returns of Zonji, we got the returns of Sukuna, and we got the returns of Domain Gojo. We did not get the return of... Did we get the return of... No, the return of Zero was in the first anniversary for Japan. You know, the timeline is pretty weird. The timeline is going to, you know, not be so weird next year once we're kind of close. We're not going to be rushing anymore. You know, it's going to be more fun next year. But, you know, I'm fine. I'm content with leaving Tower how it is. You know, I'm not racing to get to the top of, you know, I'm actually at the funny number floor of Tower. Ha 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 ha. I'm a 467, 67, 67, 467. Why did I have a weird accent when I said that? But 467, 67, 67. You may laugh now. 67, 67. Oh my gosh, that's not funny. Oh my gosh, that's not funny. 467. I do like playing this on computer more. I genuinely do play on computer. That is a really good update for sure. I definitely would like. I definitely do like computer. I hope this guy gets an SP buff as well. I do hope this guy gets an SP buff in future. A2, that's considered a cardinal sin for Megami, by the way, because you're not supposed to necessarily do that. But I definitely, you know, you don't usually... now I can do this twice instead of this as well, so it's not necessarily so bad. You just have to do this, consume 25, because it's auto skip. Why is this not on his auto... Why can't I see it on his... He definitely has a passive. Why can I not see it? He definitely has a passive. He's lying to you. He has a CE passive where... Okay, I think they should definitely not hide that as well. So that's interesting. That's interesting. He ult chases in his passive, which is definitely pretty neat. Pretty interesting, pretty awesome. Love that, love that, love that, love that. Yeah, because 25 is if his initial CE is 45 and we chase 25. Because they start with their initial CE, right? They should. Because I don't think it will cover his first turn. Then to consume 25, we have 20, and I believe his ult chase is like 20 or below. If I remember, it's not 15, right? I don't think so. I do not think so. But hopefully y'all enjoyed my weird accents that I decided to put on for y'all today. Yuta's pretty good. I do definitely appreciate that. I appreciate Ghetto, but obviously I'm looking for, limited characters. Obviously. I think I need to develop a better plan of action. It's like I wanted Todo, but it's like, yeah, no, I'm just not even gonna, if I get anything from the anniversary, I get something from the anniversary. If not, because honestly, it could be in months, and I could be like, a couple, a month or two, and I'm like, I don't know. I just don't know what's gonna happen. I don't know what's going on with Global. The Global first anniversary. I guess like I'm gonna swap my allegiance to Global. Global first anniversary. I did have to pity Blue Yuta. I'm gonna have to pity Miguel. I definitely have the discipline to save for these limited characters. All of JJK0, which is going to be this and this. I do believe that is the case. I do believe it is the case. When we get this and this as well. Because, Japan got their anniversary as well. So it doesn't look like we should be getting anything else besides this. Especially since, we're moving away from JJK0. We're literally getting you-know-who as well for the Japan anniversary. So this is fine. One, it's like, oh my goodness, we should have, another blah, 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 zero ban. It's like, no, we should just have this as our zero, This, here comes Gourmet Boom, which is like unfortunate. And then this, which I'm going to go ahead and closely monitor this to make sure I pity him exactly on that as well, and then showcase that off. Alright, so that wasn't so bad. I got a dupe of Yuta, which dupe 2 is where you want to be, and anything above dupe 1. I mean, him being dupe 2 is exactly where I want him to be, exactly where the benefits stop for Yuta, especially because he is a CE. He loves that CE. And him with, it's like, oh yeah, why is it not the same with, the CE man right here? Well, it's because he doesn't need CE. He gets a passive where he has CE every turn, and this costs 20 CE. So even if you get CE 0 from this, you can go ahead and keep using this every single turn. This costs 20 now, and his CE recovery is 20 every turn. So you can use the maximum debuff every single turn. There's no CE requirements anymore. It's really good. His SP buff is really nasty, insane. He doesn't even need to rely on any sort of CE anymore. He's just a skill 3 merchant now. He's really good. He is really, 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 really impressive. He is he is back to being where he was with his SP buffs. He is absolutely insane. He is mechanical, maniacal, all that type of stuff. Same thing with Yuta. He's not as crazy, but definitely came back with the passive skills he has, being a bit of a black flash demon, as well as having a stronger technique skill right here. So we definitely appreciate that for sure. Definitely appreciate getting that, as well as Miguel, which means I will only have to chase the limited characters from the anniversary second. So that is going to be the plan right now. Is I'm going to I don't want to split my focus between them. I'm going to necessarily chase the limited characters, because that's what I think I should do as well. So what the plan is going to be now is that I'm going to go ahead and use all this knowledge now to go ahead and chase these characters. Chase all these characters from the second anniversary in summer. So I'm going to have a big summer for JJK Phantom Parade. It's going to be awesome. I'm going to have discipline to go ahead and skip all of these new, season 3 characters or whatnot. That could happen, for sure after we go ahead. Even the original stuff, I don't know. It's gonna be awesome though. Hopefully y'all enjoyed. I definitely know. I did. Blue is not going anywhere. Blue is not going anywhere. Then I can go ahead and if I can get the dupe shard with update the one last little shard, I'm going to go ahead and spend on this guy. The blue team is going to be fan-freaking-tastic. I would have loved a stamp for him. I would like more stamps, but other than that, it's going to be really awesome. It's going to be genuinely really freaking awesome to go ahead and see this guy with dupes on him. But I definitely think that's going to be it for my blue team. That's going to be it. That's just going to be it. My blue team is going to be solid, succinct, all those types of stuff. My yellow team, obviously, Domain Megumi, Yaga. We have, of course, Zone, Yuji, and, of course, Teen Gojo. We have that there. Of course, for red, we have Yuta. We have not even the new Yuji. I don't really necessarily need him. We have him. We have Toji for physical as well as Yaga and the limited Nanami as well. So the only other color that don't get me wrong, my green is strong, but it definitely relies on Domain Gojo to get the job done. And it's not going to cut it in some of these later tower floors where we have to deal all this amount of damage. It just gets RNG filled. And definitely Chozo would have been that mix between having something like either the limited Holo Purple Gojo plus Teen Shoko and of course Teen Ghetto as well as that, but I would definitely like Teen Shoko, Teen Ghetto, and then Yuji and Todo. But of course, I am going to chase those in summer. Not necessarily a big deal, because they're going to return. They return these major characters on these types of celebrations. I do believe they returned 0.5. Did they return 0.5? For first anniversary, I believe they might have. And then, of course, they returned the 0.5 on one banner, and then they returned anniversary as well on 3 separate banners. So I believe they're going to do, return all these characters on 2nd anniversary as well, and then they're going to do some returns for half anniversary that we're going to look forward to. So I'm going to definitely chase all those in future. Hopefully y'all enjoyed this wonderful video. Unfortunately, I'm not going to show you Miguel today. That will be later. I will do a short. I will do a YouTube short about Miguel. Awesome. That's awesome. That's exactly what I want JJK0 to be. The limited stuff on JJK0, that's what I want to leave Jujutsu Kaisen 0 off on, and as well as leaving Jujutsu Kaisen 0 on a great note. It's been almost a year, right? It's literally when I started the game with this red Yuta, so circling around and pulling red Yuta again as long with the blue Ghetto, and then now, having the ability to guaranteed pity Miguel, while I'm going to save those 3,000 cubes. Honestly, I'm not gonna lie, those 3,000 cubes might go straight into the dupe shard. I'd rather get the dupe shard that they advertise for Japan right now, along with the dupe crystal, to dupe out some of these limited time characters. Of course, what do I need to dupe out? Of course, Yuta is fine. Toji is fine. We want to dupe out these aggressive characters. Yuji is fine. He's A5, literally. Yellow Yuji is fine. Of course, the other DPS, Gojo is fine. He's not limited either. And then we go ahead and have Sukuna. I don't necessarily need to dupe Sukuna anymore. If anything, I would like to do Blue Yuji out as well to just A2. I think getting him to A2 is just a better play here, especially when he runs out of steam and longer content. I would definitely appreciate that. Definitely appreciate that a lot more. Let me know what y'all think about the anniversary celebration. I definitely want to make this big and long video, you know, more hype, more happy, more ending off on a positive note, even though I really wanted Blue Toto. No, flippity flop, flippity flip. We got all the blue, right? We're done with blue. We definitely rounded out red. And of course, yellow is already supremely powerful. So of course, the only thing we're missing is green, and that's green Toto. Green has just been the unequivocally weakest color in the game. It's just is what it is. And it's so funny. I really did need blue, but it's just the pace of this game. If this game was I just want this game synced, man. But this is fine. This is definitely okay. But it's just ironic where it's like, if this banner came out sooner when it's supposed to come out, you know, I would have definitely have not only gotten, you know, that dupe of Miguel and this Utah to just conquer the blue stage, the last blue stages that I just needed. But no, I already conquered them without it, and it's like, well, I guess I just should just go ahead and do it because 0 is yearly. 0 feels like it's, you know, yearly, you know, this December, this Christmassy celebration, you know, because that is, you know, when the whole incident take place on that day. So with that being said, hopefully y'all enjoyed this summoning video. I think it went pretty well. I did. It definitely went better than my last. I think this, yeah, it's probably the best 0 summon. I don't want to. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that. No. I can't be disingenuous. I pulled this Utah and Geto. Geto goes so well with this Utah too. So him being A1, I would have actually, you know, liked him to do more damage along with, you know, of course we got all the options for blue. All the options we need to blue. Oh, you know. If we ever have like a blue physical, you know, we could definitely do that with Miguel. But I'm gonna get on that. I do still remember when I pulled this guy. Definitely would like to try to showcase him if I can. These limited floors are going to take this. I definitely think now that I think I should just, you know, go ahead. You know, right? That's definitely what I had to do. Honestly, wait, with every single 0 celebration, right? No. Yes. With every single 0 celebration, I've had a full reset, right? I want to end this video off like this. On JJK0, I barely pulled Utah, and basically that's the reason why I kept this account. Reset. I ran out of cubes summoning on all the first anniversary characters because, you know, everything is going so fast-paced, and then I had a full reset, you know, hard stop summoning for literally Miguel last time. I was, you know, trying to go for him. I got the memory, though. That was nice, but, no, I ran out of steam that time. Reset. And then now here, I'm at cubes trying to summon for Miguel again. And, you know, I can guarantee pull Miguel as well. So that's going to be nice. Reset. So having 3 resets. Is it worth pulling Miguel over Toto? Probably not, but, you know, this banner was pretty valuable. I definitely didn't appreciate what I got. You know, it is what it is at the end of the day. Gotcha luck is gotcha luck. It's going to be how it is. The multi-character banner, I definitely did appreciate more. And, you know, it could have definitely been a little bit worse. It definitely could have been worse. I could have had, you know, a little bit of a travesty on the banner instead of a happy ending. For sure, having Utah A2. I mean, I would have definitely liked Miguel more for sure, but Utah A2, I definitely am going to want to try him. If the floor isn't locked, if the floor is not locked, oh my goodness, yeah. I would like to test him out. I would definitely like to test out Utah, test out his SP buff. as well as testing out Gato more. Let me know if y'all want to see that as well in future, because the limited tower floors are coming up as well. I definitely think we have better. I think we have an advantage over JP, just considering the fact that not even the fact that we're ahead, on knowledge, on knowing what to summon for and what to skip for. Because I always went for like the limited units. There's only a couple non-limited characters I went for, but once next year starts and I could have a whole like 6 months to save for half anniversary and then second anniversary for global, it's going to be so much better, believe me. It's going to be so much better, but I'm going to have to discipline myself to save for these limited units, because I want to guarantee myself that I get these limited units, because these limited characters end up being super, super amazing, super, super good. And with the SP of all these Zero characters, it's like, do we see another Zero celebration? It's like we could, but it's like, I don't know. I definitely am not too sure if we're going to see another Zero celebration next year even, but I imagine Zero is going to rerun next year again with another Miguel. That's just my dogs, ignore that. That's sweet, but okay. I'll go ahead and end this video off right here though. Yeah, that's my sign to go ahead and end the video. Hopefully y'all enjoyed. I think I did. I think I did. I think I made the right decision. I'll just go ahead and call it right here. Hopefully I can save my luck. Hopefully I can save my luck for the other stuff. But if not, I can go ahead and, really pull some stuff for a legend. And if not, well, I'll go ahead and have a black flash streak again. I've been on a hot streak, low streaks for like Dokkan really, but I've been on hot streaks for this game as well. I've definitely had some for sure. I appreciate having every single. I'll have every single limited in the game. Like if I'll have every single limited in the game, which that's gonna be good. I'm gonna appreciate that. I am going to appreciate that. That will be appreciated by me. I will finally have every single limited, won't I? Yeah, I will. That's going to be pretty good. I'm going to appreciate that for like the 5 seconds I hold the every limited and global. That's going to be fun. That's going to be really cool. That's going to be awesome. Nice. And then I'll reclaim that title once everything happens for, because I'll have double the things to summon for, but I'm going to also have, double the resources, because I'll have more time to save for these major celebrations coming up. It won't be every 3 months we're having an anniversary, because I felt like we had 6 anniversaries this year, right? We're having 6 anniversaries. It's 0. We go ahead and have 0.5 first anniversary, and then we have 1.5, and then we have second, and then we might go ahead and have second for JP. It's like, it's all this stuff. It's just all this bam, 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 bam. And I definitely appreciate the attempt to sync up with global, but I'm just gonna end off with this. Feels so good to be just looking on global, right? It feels so good to be on global now, because we're at the point where it's not ideal, we're not synced, but we go ahead and have ourselves very, 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 very nicely positioned where we're at the standstill, where we're like Dokkan was for years and years and years and years, where we are just a little bit behind Japan. We're a little bit behind the Japanese version in a month or two, but we're able to have both the benefits of 4 sides, but we are also have less benefits from that than we did before, because but we can actually save for things, so that's a benefit. That's a huge benefit. I really do think so, and it's really going to be a better year in 2026 for this game. I can tell you that for free, because we can go ahead and have the actual time, actual resources for us global players to save, because we've been thrashed around for sure. So I do appreciate these benefits for global. Though I think global, it always ends up being the better version at the end of the day, usually. Even though we get thrashed around, I think we do get better benefits and compensation and reparations that I definitely hope Japan gets in the future. All right, so happy first year anniversary for the global version, and also happy second anniversary for the Japanese version. I definitely would not do what I do. Well, actually, I wouldn't say so. If you don't have these characters, definitely go for them. If you need what you need for colors, it's really what you need for colors. I am trying to, someone as like a collector, I want all these characters, in my box. But if you're a collector, I definitely say go for these characters. I definitely say go for the characters that you really, really, really want at this point in time, because I will drop this last piece of info. I'm going to the limiteds because I know the limiteds, are limited, because I want the limiteds. I want these limited characters. I don't necessarily have time to slow down and stop and smell the roses and summon for these standard characters right now. I hope I can next year. I really hope I can summon for a little bit of standard characters next year, but this year I definitely did not have the time to just slow down and stop and summon for these characters, for sure. But now, since even though we do have a standard banner update coming pretty soon, we are still going to be quite a little bit away from all these other characters coming in standard, and you're not even really guaranteed to get them in the standard. I don't even have all of Purple Gojo, the old one, and he's like so out of date, so hard to place, it's like I don't really even need him anymore. So, with that being said, I would definitely say there are mostly limited characters that you would want someone for if you're trying to go for, gaming the hard content. But if you really just I want someone for the standard characters because they're also really strong, that makes sense. If you just want the character, that also makes sense, because at the end of the day, it's it's only a little bit. It's just I want y'all to have the most success. So I'm just going to say what I think gives me the most success of what I do. I definitely think it works, to try the true method as someone who has been free to play for all these games. But it's what it is. It is what it is. Pretty good. Pretty happy ending to all this, I'd say. Pretty happy ending to all the Zero stuff. So I definitely say I wanted to conclude the Zero arc. I definitely wanted to spin back on this in a more positive way after the first summon video. So I'll stop yapping. I'll actually go on out of here. But let me know how someone went for JJK Zero. And yeah, I definitely would like to do showcases for these floors. I'm not gonna lie. I'm open to doing showcases for the limited floors. I'm open to it. I'm actually open for it. I am open for showcases. Please. I'm actually not gonna. Next year I might actually do showcases. I might actually do showcases for some of the limited floors. I might do showcases. I might do more content on this game. It could be happening. For sure. It's definitely something where it's like the reveal don't make sense for me to make content over, though, right? It definitely doesn't make sense for me to do all that because it's just so far out. It's so far in advance. I just definitely don't think so. I didn't definitely cover I definitely didn't cover reveals for the Japanese side for Dokkan Battle that way when it was going, because it was I covered some of the major stuff, but it's no, it's alright. But with that being said, I think this game is going pretty good. I definitely would like it to sing eventually, but right now it's not too bad. It's not too bad. It was pretty rough first year for the game, but I think it could get a lot better in the future. It could get a lot better in the future, for sure. All right? With all being said, I think that's the end of my think piece. And the end of the JJK Zero arc. I think it's been a pretty long-standing arc on the channel. Me and Zero have a complicated history. We're pretty good for this unit. This unit, oh my goodness, that was not great. Yeah, this caused problems. The ghetto caused problems. But seeing them both again was a treat. Yeah, for sure. And of course, Yuta caused me problems once again, of course, made me chase for him, and I got mad and chased even more. But it is what it is on that front, and of course, I'm going to get Miguel soon as well. So I'll be on out of here. Let's end this JJK0 arc as well and end this year right with Jujutsu Kaisen. Hopefully you'll have a very, very, very merry day. And I'll sign off. I'll sign off. I'll be on out of here. Alrighty, let's Black Bash nowadays, and I will definitely do more of that. I know I'm charging back on my luck because it was insane. I went on cooldown. It was just so insane. But yeah, I'll get on out of here. And until next time, bye everyone.